This video's made for adult collectors because something ripped in half joke. One of them's gonna die. This thing, my friends can vouch for this. When I took this out of the box, and like the 2 hours I messed with this on and off playing video games, I was consistently like, what? Wow, oh my god, what the hell? At random things I would discover while messing with this toy. This was probably my most anticipated of the Transformers 1 releases, and it does not disappoint. There is a lot going on here for how kind of simple his conversion is, but the stuff it does is so clever and neat. This is Transformers 1 Studio Series Sentinel Prime, former leader of Cybertron, but he had to retire due to immense back pain. And my buddy Dan found this at his Walmart. Here's the box, not sponsored. Also, thanks, Dan. The first thing I realized when I opened this box was how heavy this figure feels. Like, it's not like super duper heavy. There's no diecast or anything, but it had a weight to it I wasn't expecting because of how dense it feels. The actual plastic quality on most of this thing is insanely good. It feels thick and robust for the most part. There are a couple areas like the wings and shoulder armatures where that's clearly palm or something that's made to flex a bit to transform, but the vast majority of it feels very well put together. And then the colors, they look really nice. This deep and rich blue with the Allspark blue on the legs, the gold knee pads, and the breakup on the torso. The like sand gold color on the plastic is not exactly a match to the film, and my mom did say it looked like pee-pee. Those were her words exactly, but I don't mind it very much. Now onto some of those surprises. Oh, before I get into that, he has guns and a shield. The shield is very pink, and no sword, which is a shame. I don't know if that's a parts count thing or a concept art thing, but yeah, no sword is a bit pain. But the surprises, the three things that this toy does, both intentionally and unintentionally, that I like. Thing one is the head with the battle mask, but that is something I'm actually going to talk about in the articulation segment because I can explain it better. Thing two is the wings. They're like this, which isn't accurate, and you can't really make them accurate because unlike the film, this toy transforms, but you can move them inward a bit at the top to make this point stick out above the shoulders a bit more and keep it more streamlined if that's something you want. I dig that. And then the feet. My biggest complaint was going to be that he had no heels and likes to fall over a lot. But due to the transformation, you can just fold these bits out and sort of like half transforming the feet, and now he can stand no problem. His feet still sit flat and he has a base. It's great. He's pretty well sized too, being taller than Gamer Ironhide and all that. He isn't the tallest Voyager, but he also isn't the shortest. He's one of the densest though. Sentinel's posing is like kind of basic but also kind of wild in some areas, and it's very cool. I'm not going to start with the head. One of the things that always gripes me when I watch like other things is when people do articulation segments and start randomly in certain spots. I like to start from the head. That's just a me thing, but I'm going to skip the head for now. We're going to come back to that at the end. The shoulders are on ball joints. They can do a full 360, but they're on a weird axis due to where all this stuff has to go, so it looks a bit strange. You've got in and out at the shoulder here. You do have a bicep rotation. Now this one is really stiff on my copy, so when I go to rotate it, I end up pulling the chest out, which is a tad bit annoying. However, on this one, you can see it moves, but it stays pegged in. But the bicep swivel does rotate there. Nothing at the wrist, unfortunately, but that's due to, you know, that. Ironhide keeps making wobbly noises. On the floor you go. He does have a waist joint, and unfortunately you can't just pull them apart. You have to undo these 3 screws and then pull the waist apart. Then you can pull them in half if you want to recreate that sequence. You do have hips can go forward, out of focus. They can go back about that far because the wings get in the way, but then you move the wings out of the way and they go that far. They can go in and out. You have thigh rotation. You have a little under 90 degrees of bend at the knee just due to the sculpt, and the legs don't lift up as far as I would like them to, but that's not like a toy problem. That's just the design of this character. His legs are really long. And then the ankles can tilt all the way. Then the wings, they can flap in and out, and you've got up and down. Now let's get on to the head. So some spoilers for battle mode, but he does the battle mask thing. If it would focus. There we go. So you take this and you can flip the mask up and you close that up, and there's your battle mask. Now they built it in such a way that the head can still rotate with this thing flipping up and down, because I'll put the battle mask away. There is this yellow channel thing that the head is attached to. That's what rotates. That goes a full 360 with the battle mask down and up. I like that. Now we're gonna flip the battle mask up for this example. I was rotating the head, and you notice that pin right there. right? And you notice that the head is cut slightly so that it can, like, you know, look up. Well, I noticed, come on, head, rotate. There we go. You can do this, boop, and he can look up. He can still look up. I can rotate it here. He can look up, even with the whole mask gimmick. That's awesome. But what about when the mask is flipped down? If you fold the mask away, nope, you can still look up. Now, the only problem is when you're rotating the head, right, because of this big square that is the hinge, if you rotate the head this way, you're gonna have a little bit of trouble getting it higher than that because it bumps into the collar. So what you're gonna have to do is open this up. You're gonna have to, just so I can show you, flip it up here, then rotate it, and it makes that weird noise, and then you close it up. So that's how you get that. It does make it look like he's got a giant Adam's apple because of the little hinge thing there, but I love the fact that you can still look up and down with the mask folded away or folded up. That is awesome. I thought he wasn't gonna have any up and down at all, and I thought his head rotation was only gonna be this much. But you could do a full 360 degrees with the thing. It's like Victory Saber, the little saber guy. When you put the little head thing in there, it does the same sort of thing with the channel. I like how that's implemented here. It works so well. So yeah, he is a triple changer technically, because in the film, he transforms into a sort of round 2 final boss state. So let's take a look at battle mode. So yeah, they managed to squeeze that epic thing he does in the movie in. I'm doing this with the heels folded up for now so I can show you the full transformation. So to start with, we're going to open this up and then pull out the battle mask and close that up. Then we're going to flare out the front chest panels here. Then you're going to slide, well, actually we'll leave this one slid up, but you slide this one down. Oh, don't pull the arm out. Don't do that. You slide that down. Then we're going to take these missile pods here at the top and fold them out. These little things. I like to also flare the wings out just because. Then we're going to take these side sections here and fold out these guns from inside. I wish these were gray. They're blue. I wish they were gray. Just because in the film they were like a silvery gray color, I believe. But you can do that. Then you bring this out. You bring down the boosters. This out. Bring down the boosters. Fold the toes in. Now, there are 2 configurations. There's this configuration, which is how you get him to stand by himself. And then there's accurate configuration if you want that. However, he can't stand like this. So I do like how in the instructions as well, they make you do it like this unless you want to get him into a flying pose and they show you to do it the other way. That's cool. So once you have that all done, we're going to take the shield and the guns, and you're going to peg the guns into the shield. And then you're going to peg the shield onto the arm. And there you have his battle mode. I love the fact that it can do that. And like, it's cool how it can do that. That's so cool. I was kind of sure they weren't going to do this until they showed the toy off. And I was like, okay, guys, you nailed it. And they did. This is great. It changes almost every like large chunk visual aspect ever so slightly to make it feel very different, and he grows with this. Bro is tall now. Same articulation as before, there's no changes there, but now there is also a jet mode, even though he didn't transform in the film, more taking Megatronus's cog as a trophy rather than actually using it, which I thought was pretty neat. Anyways, jet. I completely forgot to write this moment in the script, but he has a nice head sculpt. I just wish he had a smirk. Like a smirking face would be great, and then it gets covered up by the battle mask. You don't see it anyways. That would have been awesome. Anyways, let's get him into jet mode. So to start with, what we're going to do is rotate the head 180 degrees. Then we're going to come down to the legs here, and we're going to flip out the boosters like you're going into giant man mode. And then we'll fold them up so that they're in flight mode. Come on. Then we're going to peg the legs together. And they form this really nice solid connection. Like that's not coming off. Then we're going to take the nose cone and flip it up. Not all the way yet, just flip it up. We're going to bring the wings back and bring it down, and it will peg in there. Now we're going to take the shoulders, rotate them down. They're going to peg into the side of the thigh, into this little like tab here. So you get that plugged in, bring this out, whoops, there we go. And then you bring it down, you plug it in, straighten out the arms, fold this down. This transformation feels a lot like the RID 2015 Seeker mold, which is kind of funny. Then we're going to take the wings, and you want to unclip them and swing them out and down and into here. Now I find it really easy because it's kind of hard to pull these out because they're latched in. You want to take this and push it up a little bit and then pull it out. These are made out of palm, so you're not going to snap them unless you push them too far, so you should be fine. But once you have that done, it's then going to clip into this, out of focus, this clip here and this tab here. So you bring it down, peg it into place on both sides, make sure it's nice and squeezed together. Then you have this little gap right here that's going to go into that.
So boom, and then, oh, come on. Boom, there we go. Straighten out the arms. Then you take the nose cone section and straighten it out the rest of the way. Flip up these little tail fins, and there you have jet mode. And that is a very fun thing to flick back and forth. However, it's not exactly super unique. It doesn't do anything boring, but it doesn't do anything like radically interesting in it either. It's just sort of, all the limbs just sort of shift down here and the jet comes out of the back. It's okay. It's easy to do back and forth. It's just not super interesting to do.
That is an immensely solid jet mode. Nothing, and I mean nothing, on my copy wants to come off or out. It feels very dense, and it's large. Like, he grows for sure in this mode. It's got such a nice hand feel to it, and the nice colors carry over, though the blue stripe on the wings is broken up because there's palm here, but I'm not too bothered by it. He is just kind of hanging out the bottom, and he's got no landing gear, which makes sense as this is a plane from a planet where everyone just transforms when they land, so he doesn't need landing gear. But it does mean that this toy just sits on the painted bits when you put it down on a table. His head is kind of just sticking out there, which is a little but oh well. But as a whole though, this toy is so freaking cool. I highly recommend this. It's very clever and so well done. It feels great, it looks great, it poses great, has a bunch of cool features. It's all I look for in a toy. It's so fun. But that's my look at Transformers 1 Sentinel Prime. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.